And now let us shift our focus to West Africa, where it looks like new allegations on Nigeria's president have emerged. Reports suggest that the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA, has confirmed that Nigeria's president, Bola Tinibu, is regarded as an active asset by the U.S. intelligence agencies. Now, the disclosure surfaced in a joint filing by the CIA, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Drug Enforcement Administration. The agencies were opposing the release of the unredacted or the non-hidden information about President Tinibu's background. Now, according to the Nigerian journalist David Hundeyin, who has spearheaded the efforts for full transparency, the American agency submitted a memorandum citing Tinibu's status as a CIA asset. The CIA's memorandum underscored the importance of safeguarding its intelligence partnerships. It stated that human sources can be expected to furnish information to the CIA, and only when they are confident the CIA will do everything in its power to prevent the public disclosure of their cooperation. Now, this has sparked a huge debate about whether President Tinibu is a CIA agent or not. Now, 72-year-old Bola Tinibu has been serving as the president of Nigeria since 2023. President Tinibu is criticized as the flying president for the frequent visits that he takes outside of his country. He had forfeited about $460,000 to the city of Illinois in the United States in 1993 after an investigation linked him to drug trafficking activities. But in April of 2023, Tinibu's party, the All Progressives Congress, told the Presidential Election Tribunal that he was of no interest to the U.S. government, as the 31-year-old civil forfeiture case was not against him, but against the money that they said was found in 10 bank accounts that were opened in his name. Now, this came as Tinibu's candidacy was challenged by other presidential election contenders. And now the party's claim prompted Nigerian journalist David Hundeyin and the US-based legal data website Plainsight's owner Aaron Greenspan to file a Freedom of Information Act request to the FBI, the CIA, and the DEA to seek more information on the US government's interest on Bola Tinibu. Now, the DEA has also supported the CIA's position, asserting that while citizens have the right to transparency about what their government was up to, they are not entitled to unrestricted access about President Tinibu. The report confirmation triggered a mixed set of reactions on social media, with David Hundeyin claiming that the U.S. intelligence support for certain African leaders has contributed to regional instability. Now, some users on social media platform X were quick to comment on how did one jump to the conclusion that Tinibu was an asset, while others criticized the U.S. for installing a criminal as their country's president. And some even went a step further and called this as an act of treason. In response to the accusations on President Tinibu, his special assistant on social media took to X and dismissed the claims surrounding the president's alleged CIA ties. He called them baseless and tragic. But the stance of U.S. intelligence agencies of not releasing information about President Tinibu, as well as the government and president's silence on it, has raised more questions than before.
Okay, lovers of freedom, as we are following them bomber to bomber, showing the whole world what is really happening and why Americans are doing everything to support what we are doing. They confirmed Tinibu as a CIA agent. And as a CIA agent, they don't want to expose him to the public. So the world is living under jeopardy. The world is under capture that a drug lord, Tinibu, CIA have to protect their interest. And when you want to go a little deep concerning most of the things they are talking about when they say Tinibu and the Buhari, all these Yohaneze Igbo and the puppets in Africa, is when you begin to decode, this kind of pictures, when you begin to decode this kind of pictures, this is France defense minister, when he is teaching Boko Haram on what to do. You understand? And you know that Tinibu has a very good relationship with them. Every time Tinibu will run to France, every time he will run to France to show, yeah, you understand now. There are reasons why CIA is trying to defend him. And this man you see here now, you see him, this is the president of France. Here, you will see this man again, this one where the arrow is going to, where the arrow is pointing at. The same man, you see him here now, is this particular man. Is this particular man. So, when you hear that they are defending the interest, their interest that Tinibu is a CIA agent, it is not a lie. So they said they cannot expose Tinibu, that if they expose Tinibu, it means that they are going to expose themselves. So
it appears it's going to communicate a different narrative which may be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
How is the league responding to that?
Well, I think, thank you very much.
Which also gets across to us.
Visit to
but what we need to do not to despair is
of course,
to...
one of them, as you very well referred to, was former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He welcomed the idea after listening to us, after listening to our argument, our objectives, our focus. He commended our effort. But as a nationalistic person, he said, look, this problem is not limited to the North alone. Why can't you broaden your contacts and reach out to your colleagues up in the other part of the country and come up with a National League of Democrats? And that was a very wonderful suggestion. We came back and that is already on the table before the leadership of the league and is being considered. And we've already started reaching out to some few names, and we are registering the same understanding, and we are receiving the cooperation, and they applauded it. Very soon, we will come up with what he suggested. And he, in fact, went further to say that any day you come up with a national League of Democrats, come back, I will be the grand patron, because he said anything to break up this country, he will use his last blood to defend it. He is a Nigerian, he is proud to be a citizen of Nigeria, and he is not prepared. And a number of them that we reached out to express the same thing. So
now, dear friends, as we are going to welcome BPM, there will be fundraising now, but things we have on our table, we need to push it out before anything. Now, you can see yourself that Nigeria is gone. Obasanjo bombed Tinibu. Your Baba go slow Emelokon. Your Baba go slow Emelokon regime has confirmed Nigeria as a failing state, sinking into chaos. Why did they do this thing? Because of the activity of our prime minister. Buhari now Obasanjo now is telling Tinibu that you are a Melokon, Melokon, it's my own turn, it's the turn of Yoruba, it's their own turn. It has made Nigeria to become a failing state and sinking into chaos. That is message we just come now to deliver. For people to understand the war that is going on and how this war has been going, the activities and what is happening. Listen to the Minister of Defense, Musa. Musa that is fighting asymmetric war. I will explain asymmetric war, then we will join our media in few minutes now. Then, asymmetric war.
More isolated, this insecurity also gets across to us. But what we need to do, not to despair, is to stand up to the challenges ahead and then face them squarely. And that's exactly what we're doing. It was extremely very bad. Like I said, security, asymmetric warfare, the presence of non-state actors should never be allowed to start in any country. The best thing to do is to nip it in the bud, because it's a very difficult operation. You are dealing with people you don't know. We only identify these guys when you see them carrying arms. If they are not carrying arms, they're just like normal civilians, and you are duty bound to protect them. So that's why this one is different from the conventional kind of warfare, where you know your enemy, you know where they are, you know how to go about them. So confronting the current challenges is all of society approach. Every Nigerian has a role to play. Every individual living in Nigeria also has a role to play. And I think we're...
So, what Musa just said now is concerning asymmetric war. And let us bring a little the meaning of asymmetric war. What is meant by asymmetric war? Asymmetric warfare can be defined as a war that occurs between two forces of uneven strength and size. The most common method used in asymmetric war are guerrilla tactics and the element of psychological warfare. This is what Nigeria failed, and the reason Musa is crying today, because they don't have what it
was extremely very bad. Like I said, security, asymmetric warfare, the presence of non-state actors should never be allowed to start in any country. The best thing to do is to nip it in the bud, because it's a very difficult operation. You are dealing with people you don't know. We only identify these guys when you see them carrying arms. If they are not carrying arms, they're just like normal civilians, and you are duty bound to protect them. So that's why this one is different from the conventional kind of warfare, where you know your enemy.
Now, that this one is different because try to understand the kind of war Biafra is fighting. The Biafran Prime Minister, the Chief of Armed Forces of Biafra, is fighting war of attrition. War of attrition is what Biafra is fighting against asymmetric warfare. And what is war of attrition? War of attrition is a military strategy in which one side tries to cause the others to lose so many soldiers, and they have so much military equipment destroyed that the enemy force are worn down until they collapse. If you then go back and listen to our Prime Minister, then you will understand the kind of war they are fighting. And from there, then as we are fighting Nigeria from all corners, Biafra is now going inside America, contracting every other good player that can play for Biafra. The reason Obasanjo have told Nigeria today that Nigeria has sink right in front of them. That Nigeria sink right in front of them. This is the message. Obasanjo now bomb Tinibu. Your Babago slow Omelekon regime has confirmed Nigeria as a failing state, sinking into chaos. Then you will be able to understand when this kind of players that understand the meaning of Muslim ticket, the meaning of Muslim ticket, which PN is featuring today, this kind of people, when they bring file inside the office, then every other person will respect. So, Biafrans, we have a lot of things to show today now. Because of a lot of things, we couldn't go further because the Biafran people are going to do now fundraising. Please try to join the fundraising as we continue. When we will return again, we will speak about the football that is going on. They won. A lot of things.